My goal is to take care of the long-term things. When I was up at East Palestine a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't go up there for a photo op with a trail of media following me, I went up there to talk to people and see the situation firsthand. What I heard over and over again from people is that they are concerned about what happens when the TV lights turn off. Our goal is to make sure that East Palestine is not forgotten as time goes on.
Ohio is suing Norfolk Southern. You heard the state AG there after the toxic chemical derailment in East Palestine. These people do not want to be forgotten. Michael O'Shea represents a lot of these neighbors. He's a member of the legal team representing East Palestine residents. He is with us this morning. Thank you for giving us some of your time. What do you make of this lawsuit from the state of Ohio AG's office against Norfolk Southern? Do your clients see this as a good sign that they'll be held accountable? They won't be forgotten?
Well, Marty, thanks again for continuing to shed light on this situation. Like the AG said during your interview, continuing to shed light on this thing is incredibly important to these people that live in East Palestine and on both sides of the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. It's just not limited to the city of East Palestine. But to directly answer your question about the Attorney General suit, the Attorney General is bringing the lawsuit on behalf of the state of Ohio because the state of Ohio, according to the suit, is what's called the owner of a public trust of all the land and water in the state of Ohio. And on that basis, they're moving for a bunch of injunctive relief. They're looking for compensation to the state of Ohio and its related entities for cleanup. They're bringing nuisance claim and trespass claims. It's essentially a 58-count long complaint. It's very, very long. I'm looking at it right now. It's about 540 paragraphs long. It basically lines up with the same type of allegations that we've made on behalf of our individual clients and our two separate class actions.
Well, I guess I wonder then, does it water down your lawsuit? The more lawsuits we see, this one, the latest coming from the state, how does one impact the other?
Well, the Attorney General's office only has the ability to really bring the lawsuit on behalf of losses related to entities that are public entities, like the state of Ohio, cities, counties, and the like. Individuals are represented by a whole list of lawyers, including ourselves, for their individual claims, as well as what we call class action complaints. So there's a little cross-pollination on stuff like this. All of these lawsuits are currently being consolidated in the Northern District of Ohio Federal Court down in Youngstown, and we're working as we speak, even today, on what we call management issues on how both the lawyers on both sides can coordinate how we're going to get this done.
You recently testified before a Senate hearing in Pennsylvania, and you said your clients want nothing more than to have their lives back. Tell us a little bit about some of the people that you represent, their main concerns right now.
Well, thanks for asking that question. I said that our clients and everyone that we've spoken to want nothing more than to go back to the life that they had on February 2nd, 2023. We have clients that are suffering right now with various medical issues. Property loss issues are pretty predominant. That's one of our class action issues. And I got to tell you, after speaking to our clients on a daily basis, and I'll be there today, we're traveling to East Palestine to do some testing. There's a lot of what I would call general day-to-day anxiety. These folks don't know what their present or future holds, and they are terrified about teachers and students that don't want to go to school. They're not sure about that. People don't know if they can go back in their homes. They're afraid to go out and do stuff like rake their leaves, cut their lawn, shovel their walk, because they might be exposed to the dirt and grime that's left from this dust. So it's stuff like that we're trying to, assist them with.
I'm glad you brought up the testing, Michael, because the state AG said, should you listen to the EPA scientists? Yes, but should you also understand there are limits to the knowledge that we have? The EPA has been telling folks in East Palestine, along with the state health department, the water is safe to drink. We've seen independent testing say otherwise, that there are still some contaminants in the water and even in the air. How do your clients receive this information, this ambiguity in testing? Does it do anything to reassure them about their concerns?
Well, Interestingly enough, I've learned about how water systems work. And in this area of Ohio, this water system that we'll call it the tap water, the pipe water system that feeds the town, which is somewhat independent of the well water system that may serve other individual homes outside of the town area. But the town tap water system is they obtain the water through a well system, which is fed by a huge aquifer type of system that's 5 miles wide, primarily west of the city. And that system is very close to a river, which ironically is called Sulphur Run. That Sulphur Run waterway ran right by the railroad tracks, where the train derailed and spilled fluids and toxins for days. That river goes straight west all the way into downtown East Palestine. I think it even, believe it or not, goes under City Hall, of all places, in certain areas, and then makes a turn just before the water plant and goes south. So these folks are worried about this contamination river, which is really what it is. You should see all the machines and pumps and dams and fords and tankers that are sucking water out of this Sulphur Run every day. These folks are looking at it and going, what's going on in my town? And this is feeding this terrible level of understandable anxiety that they have about this.
Yeah, do not underestimate the magnitude of this event. It is a life-changing derailment for the people of East Palestine. NewsNation has been there from the beginning, Michael. We will be there until the people feel safe to stay in their homes with their families. We are paying attention, we're listening, and we're not going anywhere. Michael O'Shea, member of the legal team representing East Palestine residents. They want their lives back. We're here to remain skeptical until the answers are met. Thank you for your time, as always.
Thanks for shedding light. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.